If you're potentially coming into the Army in the year 2019 and curious about what kind of paycheck you're gonna be looking at, stick around because that's what I'll be talking about in this video. What's up, friends? Welcome to an all new video. In this one, we're talking about the 2019 pay scale to hopefully fill some curiosity for those of you that are potentially coming into the Army in 2019 and want to kind of have a good idea of what your paycheck is going to look like to help support yourself, to help support your family, whatever the scenario might be. Now, with that circumstance in mind, it's really just covering the basics. So the basic person that's, initially starting off in the Army, not someone who's already in the Army and what the pay scale looks like for 2019. If you're already in the Army, you probably know how to read a pay chart. The scenarios I'm going to be going over inside of this video is an individual who is fresh into the Army, not prior service, not already in the Army, but fresh going into the Army and what their paycheck could look like. And before that gets started, there's some important things to note. Now, a soldier who gets paid twice a month. Now, if they do a little extra paperwork, they can get paid once a month if they like, but otherwise, by default, you get paid twice a month, and that'll be on the 1st and the 15th of the month. Now, if that 1st or 15th happens to fall like on a weekend or a holiday or something like that, then they're gonna pay the day prior. There are also kind of two different categories as well that I'll briefly talk about a little bit in this video, and those are like single soldiers that live on post in the barracks. Those are soldiers only receive base pay, and then there's another category of soldiers that maybe are married, maybe have children, or like officers or senior non-commissioned officers. They receive what's called BAH or BAS, which is for housing and for food, basically allowances. Those are additional pay that they receive on top of their base pay. But for the most part, we're talking about base pay. Just don't get that too confused because especially when you're looking at it for like a single soldier side, you're looking at that base pay and you're like, holy crap, that's really low. How in the heck am I supposed to survive off that? Well, if you're a single soldier and that's all you're receiving is base pay, you're probably living in the barracks. So that means you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay utilities, you don't pay for health care. There's a lot of things you don't have to pay as a single soldier or just as a soldier in general that you don't have to use that pay for. So don't get too confused and think that that's really low pay. You also have to factor in there's also a lot of things you don't pay for when you're a single soldier or just a soldier in general. But I will provide you with a scenario for those of you that might fall into that category that do receive BAH and BAS. But let's start off with a brand new soldier, starting off in the Army as an E1. Now, at the pay grade of an E1, there are two different categories, those who are in the Army for less than 4 months and those that are in the Army for more than 4 months. So if you're in basic training, AIT, maybe you have a short AIT, you're gonna probably fall into that category of less than 4 months until you graduate AIT, but some of you might have longer AITs, maybe longer OSIT, and you will still receive that pay of over 4 months while you're still in that initial training. But as the pay grade of an E1 with less than 4 months in the Army, a soldier is going to be making $1,554 in base pay per month. Now, like I said, a soldier gets paid twice a month, so that comes out to about $777 per paycheck before taxes are even taken out. So taxes will factor in there. It'll factor in differently for some people. Some people, they have their state doesn't take out state taxes. Maybe it's exempt for military. Some states don't do that. So keep that in mind as well. Now for those soldiers that, maybe you still have basic training or AIT that's gonna go past that first 4 months, then your base pay looks a little bit better, looks a little bit more, as that'll be $1,680 per month, which comes out to roughly $840 per paycheck, so less than a $100 difference. Now, I'll also give you a scenario for an E1, let's say for more than 4 months, that is receiving something like BAH and BAS. But the key thing to kind of note is that if you're in basic training AIT, you're not gonna receive BAS, which is the little allowance you get for food. So that's why I'm using the scale of more than 4 months, because maybe you'll be out of basic and AIT by then unless you have a long AIT. But here's a little bit of a breakdown of what you could look at getting paid. Now you're still getting that $1,680 for an E1 with more than 4 months, but we're also adding in there the BAH and the BAS for those soldiers. Now BAH goes off of where you're living or where your family is at. So for this example, I'm going off of Fort Carson. So if you were a soldier in Fort Carson, this is potentially what you could be looking at as an E1 with more than 4 months in the Army. So that adds in that $1,680 of base pay, $1,545 of BAH, and then $369 of BAS. That then comes out to $3,594 per month and roughly $1,797 per paycheck. So now let's move into a situation of maybe you get to come in the Army with a little bit of rank, maybe you get to come in as the pay grade of an E2, which is $1,884 per month. And that roughly breaks down to $942 per paycheck before taxes are taken out. Now, maybe if you have a situation where you're coming in the Army with an associate's degree as one example, and you get to come in the Army as the pay grade of an E3, the base pay is going to be $1,981 per month. which comes out to roughly $990 per paycheck. Now on the enlisted side, the highest you can basically come into the Army is an E4. You're not going to be able to come in the Army as an E5 or an E6 unless you're prior service or something like that. And that's not what this video is kind of catered towards. It's catered towards people who have no military experience and are fresh coming into the Army. So the highest you can really come into the Army would be, as the pay grade for the enlisted side anyways, is an E4, and that's maybe if you have like a bachelor's degree or something. So that base pay for someone coming straight into the Army as an E4 is going to be $2,194 per month, which comes out to roughly $1,097 per paycheck before taxes are taken out. Now let's say you're coming straight into the Army as a warrant officer or a W1, the very initial warrant officer one. Really the only way you can do that is if you're coming in as a pilot. That is going to land you with a $3,116 paycheck per month as base pay, which comes out to roughly $1,558 per paycheck before taxes get taken out. But as a warrant officer, you are also going to receive BAH and BAS, whether you are single or married, it doesn't matter. You're an officer, so you're going to receive BAH and BAS. Now, if you're going the actual officer side, let's say like a lieutenant, you're fresh into the Army, maybe at a ROTC, maybe at a West Point, the base pay for an O1 is going to be $3,188 per month, which comes out to roughly $1,594 per paycheck before taxes get taken out. Now, like I said, as a warrant officer or even an officer, you're still going to receive BAH and BAS regardless if you're married or not married. So I'll give you a little bit of an example for that O1, that lieutenant fresh into the Army, what his paycheck or her paycheck could potentially look like as that, initial rank. And this includes BAH and BAS for the example of someone being in the Fort Carson area. So adding those figures together, roughly per paycheck, an officer could be looking at about $2,257 per paycheck before taxes get taken out. So it does, work to your advantage to go to college and come into the Army as an officer if you're looking to make more money. But money should not be your primary reason for joining the Army, but a lot of people, it does matter to them. They have bills to pay, they have a family to take care of, and you might be curious of that. So that's why I figured I should make this video, because there are those situations. So don't join the Army for the money. You're not gonna make a lot of money unless you move all the way up to like the rank of general. That's usually primarily not the reason why people join the Army or the military, and that reason is not to, make a lot of money, but for the experience, maybe service to your country, whatever your reason is, it definitely shouldn't be for the money. But money does pay your bills, take care of your family, so I understand it can be important to some individual when factoring in if they should join the military or not. So hopefully this video is informative and helpful to those of you that might be joining the Army in the year 2019. If so, make sure you show it some love and give it a thumbs up. If you want to check out some of my other videos, I got some recommended videos right over there that you can free to check out. Thanks for watching. I'm ThatChrisChaos. I'll see you next time. See ya.